LA's newest shelter. This is... All right. Maybe you don't understand. This is how our city comes back against our homeless crisis. This is how we treat everyone with love, dignity, and respect. This is 208 beds. That's 208 people coming off the street. You can give a round of applause for that. I'm so proud of this city because our city can stand up to any crisis. We can meet any challenge. And as a part of the city, when someone's running for office, sometimes I accost to them. Australians are horrible people. They just think everyone wants to have a little chitty chat. And in front of me are two incredible people who faced that accosting. And I'll tell you a little story. When the mayor was a congresswoman, I met her in a private home and I walked over to her. She completely ignored me and wanted to talk to my daughter. And she got down on her knees and she said, "Dad, you stand over there." And she made a little 10-year-old girl at the time feel like she was the center of the universe. And she won my heart with that action. But then I asked her, how are you going to address the homeless crisis in LA? We have thousands of people on the streets. We have a bureaucracy that doesn't always work at light speed. How are we going to do it? And she said 2 words: with relentless dignity. We have to be relentless. We have to open new beds. We need to be open to every option because people are worth that. And she said every single step has to be dignified. And since you've been in office, I've seen it. Out of the 3 years, 2 years, homelessness went down dramatically. Dramatically. And that's because of our mayor's leadership. Then in my council district, I was a little angry because we didn't have any Hope the Mission operations. And I got the opportunity to host the city council debate. And in the city council debate, I remember Councilwoman Imelda was there and she was very respectful to the others. And I was like, "Come on, Imelda, stick it to them." And she was so nice the whole time. And she came over afterwards and said, "If I'm elected, you're going to have to step up in Council District 6. That was a number of years ago, but you got it done. Here we are, because of your leadership. I'll tell you my little story about the councilwoman. We have opened shelters all across this city, and this is no shade on anyone else. I'm just going to talk about the way it's meant to be done. I'm going to talk about somebody who understands it's about having everyone at the table. The councilwoman had been in office about 2 hours, and we get a call from one of her staff. "We need to meet with you now." And I'm thinking, crap, I'm in trouble again. She sends her staff to our office, and I wrote it down. It's in one of my notebooks. We need to do this, and we need to do it right for the community. Those people who live here first, the people who live in the neighborhood around here, and for everyone in Council District 6. And I remember I said to one of your team, we need community space. Because at Hope, and Ken's coined the phrase, healing takes place in community. Isolation allows us to sit in our trauma. And your staff heard us. And I know you heard us and you championed for this. This is the first tiny home site that we operate. We operate over 10 of them. And this is the first one that has 2 custom-built community spaces for drug and alcohol treatment, for mental health support, for faith communities to come and volunteer. And you know what? For people to just watch the Olympics on TV. I'm so thankful that you believe in the dignity of people. I'm so thankful for these 2 incredible women. Can we give a massive round of applause? Hope the Mission is one of the most special things in our city, but it can do nothing without a partnership with City Hall. If we're going to meet this challenge, we need city council members who go, we want to involve you in the conversation, we want to take risks on your crazy ideas, we uplift you, we encourage you.
All right. How are you guys feeling? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 6th District, Sun Valley. Well, it's an honor to welcome you all to my hometown of Sun Valley. I grew up in a neighborhood actually right across this pedestrian bridge. And I'm just, as I arrived here, so many of you have been telling me congratulations. But I feel like the congratulations isn't for me. The congratulations is for everyone who's in this room. So can you all please give yourselves a round of applause? Because this was not done alone. This was a lot of us, 3 years in the making. Today's an exciting day because I'm incredibly proud for the grand opening of this Olinda Tiny Homes Village. It's a new resource that will expand our efforts to address homelessness, bring people indoors, and place the unhoused neighborhoods on a path towards stability and permanent long-term housing. Today, we're celebrating 120 new tiny homes and 200 beds that will now be available for the unhoused Angelenos in the 6th District. And it wasn't designed just, in vain. We sat down and we knew that we wanted to have the community center, right? And a lot of you guys have noticed that and have mentioned the art around the fence. To me, that was not just part of the dignity for those who are going to be here, but also part of what we wanted to make sure that the neighbors were able to look at and then be able to say, that's something very nice. It's an asset that was brought to the district. Because we know that addressing homelessness requires more than just simply the bed, but the entire holistic and comprehensive approach. And it's why I'm also happy that it's going to be in partnership with Hope the Mission that focuses on the wraparound supportive services, the case management, housing navigation, mental health support, meals, shower, laundry, job training, and as mentioned, a spiritual component as well. I'm glad to know that you're also continuing that theme of partnering with different religious organizations. So these are the resources that can help someone move from homelessness into stability and hopefully, well, we know ultimately permanent supportive housing. And if I could just get all my colleagues to play a role in building it out, right? So about a week ago, members of my team were helping furnish these rooms and prepare them for the people who will stay here. But we did more than that. I want to thank my entire team, different members of my team, for being part of the different components of how we got here. So I had my field team, as well as my members of my admin team who are from Sun Valley. We did everything from reaching out to the neighborhood council and easing their fears of what this would be. We also started a neighborhood watch across this bridge, and it went from being a group of folks that were just had a million questions and a fear factor to now being excited and feeling like it's a part of a solution to what was once upon a time seen as a deterioration of what was happening to Sun Valley, because the homeless crisis hit all of us. But here in Sun Valley, because we have an industrial corridor, it just ballooned for a minute. But now we have folks that are eager to help, people that are applying to work with organizations like Hope the Mission and being part of the solution. But we couldn't have done it, again, without different team members doing those different things related to making this happen and making sure that everyone was comfortable and excited, and that's exactly what's happening. So thank you all for making this occur. Congratulations to Ken and the entire team of Hope the Mission. I see the outreach team. Can we give a round of applause to the Hope the Mission outreach team? We also have here our outreach team from North Valley Caring Services that does a lot of the outreach on other parts of the district. But one of the things that I'm most proud of that I had mentioned back in the campaign trail was that I was going to have something called community councils. So on a bi-monthly basis, every organization that is funded to do services in the 6th District, they meet with my team. So North Valley Caring Services, Hope the Mission, LA Family Housing is meeting with LASA, with HACLA, and we're matching our numbers, and we're talking about best practices. And we are actually the first district that the county is utilizing as an excuse to say that things are working. So when I hear the county talk about the new things that they're working on and how there's organizations that are using their emergency resource center, that's because it's our community council in the 6th District that is utilizing it. It's because the whole point was accountability and collaboration. So all of you who are here, you know who you are. you know what you've been doing, and you know that you have been adamant at making my dream come true of making sure that as we address this, that we're talking to each other to eliminate those naysayers about what work we're trying to do to truly eliminate the homeless crisis in the city. So thank you, all of you. You know who you are. So again, Mayor Bass, thank you for your work. No one ever said that this was going to be easy. And I know that individuals like Ken and Rowan over here, they knew that this doesn't happen overnight. And I've only been in office 3 years. You're only in office for 4 years. And it is a major difference compared to before we got here. So I know you guys all see it. Let's continue to make this happen. But again, thank you. This is a big day for Sun Valley and the 6th District. Let's get this program going so that we can finally start to get folks housed. Thank you all so much.
Come on, can you give it up one more time? These two ladies. We only have 3 more speakers. We're going to push through because I start to turn the same color as those tiny homes if I'm in the sun too long. We have a bunch of people to thank. First off, we have a bunch of our board members here, led first and foremost, our board chair, Veronica, would you stand up? Give everyone a wave. Barbara, Juan Carlos, I don't see any other board members. These guys are saints. They are working so hard. We have 2 of our vice presidents here, Yvette and Emily. They're working round the clock to make this happen. Our development team, a huge shout out to our development team who makes all of this possible. Grace, can you wave? And everyone, Hanif, Cindy, Carla, everyone I've forgotten on the development team. And then the biggest thank you, our maintenance and operations team, led by June and Amy. I don't know how the dickens you do what you do, but this is one of 7 openings in 7 months while maintaining, upgrading, servicing, making sure supplies for all of the almost 3,000 beds in LA County. Huge shout out to all of those guys. Couple of other thank yous. Look, I'm not excited about construction. It's an inside joke at Hope. Ken loves it. He's got a cute little helmet and a vest and a little belt. I hate it because I'm an accountant and it needs bills. That's all I know about construction. But this one firm, Ford Construction with Arash. Where are you, Arash? These guys are saints. They work day and night, and don't tell anyone else. They treat Hope special. They come back on. They're more than willing to help explain everything, walk through the process. Thank you, Ford Construction. Honestly, they are the height of honesty. I'm so thankful for their partnership. We have some representatives from the CAO's office. If you know anything about City Hall, it doesn't happen without CAO. GSD, Andrew and your team, thank you. Now, GSD don't stop today. They come back, and a huge shout out to Andrew and his team. They're helping us fix things that get broken. This is going to shock you. With 208 people living on one site, stuff breaks. And you can't call the Ghostbusters. You don't know who to call. You call GSD. They've been huge partners to us. Thank you, thank you. Assemblywoman Rodriguez, you have a representative here. We want to say thank you to everyone in the state. Fabian, is that you? Thank you, thank you. Whew, that was a lot of thank yous. Oh, and most of all, I want to thank one more time the staff of CD6. They worked their tails to the bone. Thank you so much. As I start to turn a unique shade of pink, all of this work takes a lot. So we're going to have Ernesto Cardenas come up, the Commissioner for Public Works. Ladies and gentlemen, so often they don't get enough thank you. Give a big round of applause. Ernesto Cardenas.
Thank you, Rowan. Yes, you mentioned a lot of organizations, a lot of different departments, a lot of different bureaus, and it takes so many things to get right in order to do something. But when a project like this comes up and the Board of Public Works is involved, these are simple things to vote on. These are like, okay, where were you 3 years ago? We needed this 3 years ago type of stuff. So when it comes up and these projects get presented to the board, like I said, they're easy to vote on. We ask a few questions, and most of the questions are, what took so long? So again, welcome. Like Rowan said, my name is Ernesto Cardenas, Commissioner with the Board of Public Works. I'm here representing the 5 board members of the commission, and also as a born and raised here in the San Fernando Valley in Pacoima, coming and seeing what's been going on with our city. And I agree with the mayor, I agree with the council member. This wasn't like this when I was growing up, and we need to bring it to the point where it no longer exists. And this is just one example of how we're going to make that happen here, not only in the San Fernando Valley, but all over the city. So thank you, everyone, for all of your hard work. It was mentioned before, but I want to really talk about the different collaborations that we've had. On the city side, we had the Bureau of Engineering. You're going to hear from our brand new city engineer, Crystal Lee, in a few minutes. We're represented by LA Department of Transportation. They were involved in this project. At the state level, we had an emergency stabilization beds grant that came from the state that helped us to install these tiny beds here in this project. And also, I think everybody here realizes this. We are partnering with a premier organization, and Hope of the Mission. You have gone beyond your abilities, and every single time I hear about Hope of the Mission, it just gets better and better. So congratulations to you and your whole team for being partners that we need. Now this work doesn't get done on its own. So it was mentioned before, 4DC is a general contractor. Great job. I've seen these locations all over the city. This is one of the nicest installations. So congratulations on that. We had consulting architects, Cadre Architects, also Pallets, a shelter, Mobile Modular is one of the subcontractors, and Boss Cubes for their contribution on this project. And a special thanks to Spiro and Mooney Architecture for their work on the bridging documents. So again, thank you everybody for being here, and congratulations to the community, because this is something that was been needed for a long, long time, and it's going to start now. Thank you.
He stole a couple of my thank yous. I try to break them up, but I love it. We just want to do a couple more thank yous. In about a moment, you're going to get this feeling. Doctors describe it as love. What it is our Hope Kitchen food services over here. They're cooking everyone hot dogs. They've got the agua fresas. Your life's going to be so much better. I suggest you get the hamburger with the cheese, but you can make mistakes in your life. But a huge thank you to our Hope's Kitchen team. These guys are unbelievable, doing over 3 million meals, 75% from scratch, because Hope starts with a hot meal, so does dignity. And that's why we cook food with love. I also want to give a huge shout out. Dennis, CEO of the LA Mission, is here. Naren from Cadre Architecture. Huge thank you to Naren and all of his team. Boss Cube and Pallet Shelters. I got to see a couple of you guys earlier. But one thing that Mayor Bass always says, if you hang around long enough, she says the same things when they really mean something to her. One of the things she always says is shoulder to shoulder. We say it a little differently at Hope. We call it gang gang. We say when we got enough of us together. But you've put us shoulder to shoulder with all sorts of people to make this possible. And one of those is our new city architect, Crystal Lee. Will you please come?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This is such an amazing project. We are continuing the vision and the leadership of Mayor Bass and Councilmember Padilla. This is a really great project that BOE has been able to deliver and brought to the table. We've mentioned so many of our project partners and all of the work that they've done, but really this collaboration was definitely a team effort. There's so many amazing people that have brought together, and you can actually tangibly now see the vision come to fruition here today, right behind me. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the features because we haven't really celebrated the individual architectural pieces in totality. So there are 122 state-approved prefab residential units with 208 beds. They are ADA accessible. Each residential unit is equipped with a stowaway bunk bed, electrical outlets for charging, heating and air conditioning. That, I mean, is key, right, guys? Interior lighting, shelving, storage, and safe and comfortable living. The site amenities also include a hygiene trailer with restrooms, showers, laundry facilities, administrative trailers for offices so that we can have and house our support teams as well, individual community rooms like this one, and additional prefab administrative units to support daily operations for those teams that are here on site every day. Seating areas are also available with shaded umbrellas to provide throughout the area, and it encourages gathering and community because that is in line with the dignity and the safety and security that we're trying to provide with this site. We have areas for community engagement and meal services, site lighting and perimeter privacy fencing, and 24-hour security guard booths that enhance residential safety and security. We've customized the exterior graphic fencing that Councilmember Padilla fought so hard for, and it creates that welcoming identity for the site and for the village. The vibrant color palette also highlights areas that you can collect as a community, but makes it just a fun place. So it really does take a village to build a village. So thank you everybody so much. I want to give one more round of applause to the entire team. We haven't thanked our building and safety permit checkers, who this wouldn't have happened without, to make sure that this was a safe and code-regulated location. The bridging documents and preparation from our project team, again, the shelter unit fabricators, our modular unit fabricators, and the community structure fabricators, the general contractor Ford that we mentioned, and constructing contractor architect Cadre, and then the BCA and Bureau of Engineering staff. Thank you so much to my project team specifically. You guys are not only building this tiny home village, but also many around the city. So thank you so much for your dedication and bringing everyone to the table and collaborating. I know there were many project challenges, but you made it look easy and built this in less than 1 year. So thank you so much. I'll turn it back to Rowan. Thank you.
Our city engineer. We're rolling deep when we've got engineers. Also a huge shout out, Supervisor Horvath has one of her representatives here. Jonah, are you here? There's rumors. Thank you, they've been such a great partner. Now we only have one more speaker and then we're gonna cut a ribbon. We're gonna get a little crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, there is something different about hope. We got a different energy, the way we operate, the way we approach treating everyone with love, dignity, and respect. You can push back decades of misogyny, racism, structural bias by just treating people right. We believe it. We believe when you uplift people, the world can change for the better. And so much of that was birthed just 17 years ago in our founder. Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Kraft.
Wow, what a beautiful day. This is what it's all about. Many of us that are working in this field of service, we long for these moments when what looks like, for some have called them sheds, even though I think they're very dignified, but there are most of them here are only 64 square feet. Many of us would walk by a 64 square foot capsule and think that looks more like a closet, but it isn't. If you've been living on the street, that might as well be the Taj Mahal. Because when all of a sudden you walk in there, you have temperature controls, you have protection, you have safety, you have a locking front door, you have all the supportive services. And what makes this site so special to me and to Hope the Mission, we were birthed right here in Sun Valley, right down the street. There was a Peruvian pastor of a Lutheran church when I knocked on his door and said, I don't have anywhere to start from. I just want to start a new nonprofit to really try to address the homeless crisis. He said, Ken, if you have a heart to reach the community, come here. He took me to his kitchen. Because you can use my kitchen. He goes, you know what? You can serve people out of my fellowship hall also. I goes, by the way, come here. Took me upstairs to this upper loft. He goes, you can make an office here too. And by the way, the choir loft, you can store your food there. And that's how we started 17 years ago. Our very first meal, we had 23 people show up in Sun Valley. Now we do over 9,000 meals every day. Every day in 17 years. We currently have 34 homeless shelters, over 3,000 beds, with another 8 projects coming online. Why? Because we can't stop. We cannot slow down until the problem is solved. Now is the time. And so today we celebrate. Give it an hour, most of us will be gone and on our way. Then the real work begins. One at a time, people will be brought here. Lovingly, with compassion. They'll meet with the case manager. They'll be offered a meal. They'll go to their tiny home. And you know what will happen in most of those tiny homes? They'll cry. They'll cry. Because we forget what it means to have shelter. Shelter means life. So there's 3 words I want to leave you with. Dignity, stability, and possibility. Let's say them together. Dignity, stability, and possibility. One more time. Dignity, stability, and possibility. What do I mean, dignity? What do I mean by that? Do you know that it's not dignifying to have to go to the bathroom on the side of a road because you can't get into any bathroom? Do you know it's not dignifying to have to dig through a dumpster to find your next meal? That is not dignifying. Someone comes in here and we will show them dignity. You are a human being just like me, and you deserve to be loved and treated well. So we will dignify you. Stability. There is nothing more destabilizing than being homeless on the streets. You cannot hold down a job. Where do you get your mail? But to be able to come here and to be in a place to have staff, supportive services working with you, you can stabilize, you can rest, you can catch your breath, you can get your documents, you can get a job, you can begin to work and get out of here into permanent housing. So there's dignity, stability, and this site right here has the word possibility written all over it. Every tiny home says possibility. Every staff member says possibility. Why? Because this is not the finish line. This is the starting line. This is not a landing pad. It's a launching pad to the best of their life. And we believe that with all of our hearts. So it wouldn't happen without everybody that's been mentioned. But as soon as we walk away from here, we open the doors. Dignity, stability, and possibility will happen because of every one of you. Let's make this place a shining light here in the city of Los Angeles.
We're going to cut a dang ribbon. Now, we got to do some certs first. So as I need the councilwoman to come because you're going to be presenting a cert. Mayor Bass, if you'll start arranging over here, some of our staff, while we set up. Councilwoman, you wanted to do some certs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You know, as Ken already mentioned, and I forgot to say it in my original speech, Hope the Mission, they're Sun Valley originals, you know? So for being that, I want to present you this on behalf of Council District 6, Hope the Mission. Thank you so much for continuing to not give up on our community. We're very, very excited. And please know that I'm going to continue to be a partner. So anything you need, we're here. And so is my team. Thank you very much.
Thank you.